I be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Jesus said, "Amen, amen, I say to you, whoever does not enter a sheepfold through the gate, but climbs over elsewhere, is a thief and a robber. But whoever enters through the gate is a shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens it for him, and the sheep hear his voice. As a shepherd calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has driven out all of his own, he walks ahead of them, and the sheep follow him, because they recognize his voice. They will not follow a stranger. They will run away from him, because they do not recognize the voice of strangers." Although Jesus used this figure of speech, the Pharisees did not realize what he was trying to tell them. So Jesus said again, "Amen, amen, I say to you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not listen to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved, will come in and go out and find pasture. A thief comes only to steal and slaughter and destroy. I came so that they might have life and have it more abundantly." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Brief story before I introduce Karen, who will be speaking on behalf of Catholic Charities. Beautiful story I recently read of a sister in Italy. She's off one of the islands where the majority of immigrants are coming to Europe, and they come through this small island. And she's made it her life for the last 10 years to be there to welcome many of these immigrants who have absolutely nothing. They fled war-torn nations. Many of them have been running away because of what's happening to so many Christians in the Middle East. They come in boats, small boats that really are made maybe for 30 people. They could be 100 on these big boats. Many have been shipwrecked. Many people have drowned. But the Sister Paula, she waits for them, and when they arrive, she has water and bread for them. And often when they come off the boats, they're so discouraged and disillusioned that the first face they see is this welcoming presence who is there to help them and to give them the basis of human life, bread and water. So often in our culture, because we're used to so much, we don't even accept bread at restaurants anymore because there are too many carbs. But when you're hungry, you're hungry. The story goes like this. On one occasion, when all these people were coming off a boat, this young man ran up to her, and she thought he was coming to get bread. But he noticed that she was wearing a cross around her neck. He took hold of the cross and started to weep. And it's a beautiful image. I was so struck when I read the story of Sister Paula and her cross, because you see, Jesus is the gate for us. And what Catholic Charities has done for so many years in our diocese is it's made a way for people who are lost and confused. And not only do they give them the basic necessities, but more than that, they help to guide them to a greater life, a more abundant life. That's what Jesus tells us today he wants to give us an abundant life. That life isn't just about food. It's about a spiritual presence which really can transform us. So today it's a pleasure to introduce Karen, who will be speaking to us on behalf of Catholic Church. Karen happens to work for us. She's our parish nurse at St. Michael's, and I'm not sure how you got roped into this, Karen. I know it was the last minute. The person was supposed to come, ended up canceling, and they called you. So, Karen, thank you for being here. You're the best.
Well, thank you,
So
Father.
thank you,
You're the
Karen.
best. Thank you, Father Mark, for allowing me to talk about Catholic Charities, and thank you for introducing me. I was going to introduce myself as a parish nurse as well. I'm doubly blessed. I work for Catholic Charities and...
Karen, just get closer to the mic.
Can you hear me?
Now they can.
Thank you. I'm doubly blessed. I work for Catholic Charities and for St. Michael's Parish as a parish nurse. Good morning. Your generous support is the heart and soul of Catholic Charities. In today's gospel, Jesus tells us that he is the shepherd and we are to follow him. Caring for each other is a way to follow his voice. Thank you for responding and caring about your neighbors, as Jesus has asked us, by feeding the hungry, caring for the elderly, and protecting the vulnerable. I want to tell you about William, a client of Catholic Charities. In the hope of helping others, he has volunteered to share his story with you. He said, "Nobody wakes up wanting to be an opioid addict." He started using drugs at the age of 16 to numb the emptiness that came from growing up in a broken, unstable home. Over the next few years, his addiction took hold and he sought stronger drugs. For years, he tried to stop and had been in and out of treatment without being successful. Not long ago, William reached out to Catholic Charities counseling services. With intensive work and support from his counselor, he was finally on the way to recovery. He said he feels like he finally landed in the right hands and is no longer alone in his fight against addiction. Part of the healing process was bringing his family together. Most of his family members had stopped talking to him because of his addictive behaviors. Now, they better understand his struggle and to see the progress he's made. He said, "Just spending holidays with them, going for barbecues, watching my nieces grow up, and even something as simple as a phone call on my birthday has been very nice. Right now I'm in a good place." Today, a whole new life has opened to him. He recently got married and manages a barber shop. William knows that he'll have to continue to work hard to stay substance-free, but he has the support of his wife, family, and Catholic Charities behind him. For the first time in a very long time, he has hope for his future. Catholic Charities counselors work with many mental health issues, including substance abuse. Our counselors provide non-judgmental, compassionate care to individuals and families who are struggling with the effects of addiction or in need of emotional healing. In response to the opioid crisis in our state, our clinical services program has developed 2 new initiatives. One is an educational session for families coping with this problem, and the second is new support groups for those with addictive behaviors. You make this possible. Because of you, William and many others who are living in despair are helped, healed, and become stronger members of our communities. Your caring and thoughtful gifts bring all of Catholic Charities programs to life by teaching good parenting and budgeting skills through individual life plans, family reunification, and more. Please take a brochure and an envelope and consider making a gift to help those we serve. You can make a one-time gift, a pledge, or become a sustaining donor. Every gift is important. Every gift makes an impact. Moving lives forward, building healthy families, teaching self-sufficiency. It's all made possible by you. I would like to add that I work for a program called Our Place. It is a pregnancy and parenting education program for young families, and I can attest to the fact that the families we serve are truly appreciative of the services Catholic Charity provides for them. So I thank you for that on behalf of the clients I serve. I also need to mention about the envelopes. We're requesting that you use the envelopes that are in the queue today because they are marked St. Mary's. Last week there were envelopes included in your bulletin. They were marked St. Michael's. Catholic Charities now is putting the name of the church providing the donation on the envelopes. So if perchance you did use the envelope last week and mailed it in, no worries. You could probably call Catholic Charities and just let them know that your donation is to be credited to St. Mary's rather than St. Michael's. But there are envelopes in the queue this week that do say St. Michael's. I thank you for your time. God bless.
Just lest you think we're inept, what happened was we get the envelopes, we've never had names printed on them, so we just put envelopes out at St. Michael's, it said St. Mary's, and here they said St. Michael, so we realized that after they were already inserted in the bulletins and given out. So life's messy, as I always say, that's part of it. Also, let you know that Catholic Charities has just opened a branch office, you could say, at St. Vincent de Paul in Exeter, where they're going to be doing counseling for addiction, so opioid addiction. There's a sister from Rochester who's been trained in that. If any of you get the Exeter paper, was in there this weekend. So know that that's another thing that Catholic Charities is availing us to, is a counselor who will be meeting, I'm not sure if it's once or twice a week, at St. Vincent de Paul in Exeter. So if anybody, again, is in need of any service, please feel free to call Catholic Charities. That's obviously a big issue, and Charities has been reaching out in that area substantially in the last few years. So again, thank you for your response. The parish is very generous. We've increased greatly in great numbers in the last few years, and that's because of your generosity and your love for the Lord. So, turn to page 10.